Welcome to today's 820 podcast. I hope you're enjoying whatever you can take from these 500 seconds in your daily journey. I sincerely hope it does not distract you or detract from what you were trying to accomplish today. So at any point where it seems to be moving towards the areas where it makes you uncomfortable, in a bad way, but uncomfortable in a good way is my intention. Meaning, I want to provide to you a podcast that if it doesn't change your life, I want it to change your perspective in this moment today. And speaking of today, today's topic is called New Year's Day Every Day. Now, obviously, we could never live a year in a day. Every day gives you another new perspective of the time, the moment, the day, the week, the month, the year, maybe that sits in front of you. However, we can only live in this moment, like right now, in this recording, and in your listening. We can only live in this moment, not the ones projected out there tomorrow or in 2030. We can't go that far out or back to 2020. Those things like tomorrow or yesterday will never reappear or come. Certainly, you can plan on an event or 2 shots ahead on a golf course, but you can only ever have this one shot, this one moment to execute. But doesn't that apply to your life and not as a game? Every day, opening season, you get a reshuffled deck of cards, a new hand to play. Now again, another analogy, another scenario. You gotta play your cards. You can't play anyone else's. Yeah, hold them or fold them. However, I would offer to you this metric with your cards. You have to be non-resistant of the cards you've been dealt, not attached to the cards you've been dealt, and non-judgmental of the cards you have in your hand. Even though I'm giving you some examples, some symbols, some analogies, they're all just that, just symbols and guideposts at best. Your best is always within you, already deposited in your expansive subconscious mind and that bank of your heart of energy. You are new now. You are new now. So that thing about partying like it's 1999, in each moment you're receiving it to experience. You didn't create it. You didn't order it. You didn't select it from the top shelf at Walmart. You received this moment to experience, starting with this one we're talking about right now, and leave nothing behind. The more energy you give to tomorrow, the less you have for this present moment. It's all about your awareness, the exposure, the observation, and then how you communicate what you have received to experience. In the book, Resilience, the Beauty of Presence, it's in the front part of the book as a preamble introduction to the construct of the book, the chapters, the definitions, but also there's a section in the earlier pages of the book that talk about awareness and exposure. And I have like a descriptive analysis or Just a way to hopefully relate to you that thought that comes into your head. I said before, those thoughts, we don't create them. We can only observe them. But in the book about awareness, it's about being aware of those thoughts that are, not repeating. Sometimes they do repeat, but never the exact same thought will come through your mind in this moment as well as the next moment. But those thoughts that come across your mind, it's up to you and I to observe them. And some of them will pique our attention. Some of them will fly by. Some of them will slow down a bit for us to consider, hey, that might be worth looking into. But that awareness, and not necessarily to focus on the thought, but the ones that you pick out of that stream, like picking out that little small, unshiny, golden nugget of an idea or a thought or a whisper, you pick those out. Maybe in your experience and your discovery of who and what you are, your understanding of what you have experienced so far, and in those memory banks, not just in your head, but in your heart, you pick out those little nuggets in that stream, and those are the ones you attend to. Remember, you don't attach to them, you don't resist them, nor do you judge them, but those are the ones you pick up and resonate with. You then are self-discovering what that means to you, and more importantly, not just seeing it and saying, oh, that's kind of sort of shiny and worth my time. No, I'm going to take that and work it. I'm going to put energy in it, behind it, underneath it. I'm going to understand what I keep coming back to, those definitions for yourself. What is your desire? What is your drive? And what will you do with that to produce from your presence? I know I might be getting a bit repetitive here, but forgive me and pardon me for doing that. Hopefully not ad nauseum, but it's important for me to emphasize that simple step of defining for yourself, not what this guy says in this recording or what that guy says in that book called the Art of War, or whatever you read for your own references and your own grounding. It's about you making that definition and recording it in your journal, recording it in your words, but more importantly, reflecting on it and noticing it in your actions. That's about the awareness and exposure I point out in the book, and hopefully I can guide you in a further discussions about what awareness really looks like. So, from wherever you are, you can only be your best in one place. No matter where you are, you can only be your best in one place. And that place is now. Stay present. Stay current. Remember, what time it is? What time is it? It is always 8:20.